All right, the Afcon 2025 is underway in Morocco, and here is an update on what has gone down so far. There have been several strong performances, surprising moments, and early favorites have begun to emerge. Some of these standout moments include in Senegal in Group D. Senegal beat Botswana by 3 goals to nil. Nicholas Jackson giving a good account of himself by scoring twice in a dominant display. Senegal controlled possession and created lots of chances, reinforcing their status as one of Africa's best. Their attack was fluid, clinical, defense on point, solid, giving them a strong chance to advance from Group D. Now, what this means is basically Senegal is knocking at the door and sending a message that they're serious contenders, especially with their depth and all the experience they have. In Group B, Egypt beat Zimbabwe from coming from behind 2-1. Mohamed Salah scored a late winner and has now scored in 5 consecutive Afcon tournaments. But the Zimbabweans gave a very good performance. That was a fantastic game. I think my favorite game so far. Egyptians' performance showed patience and attacking intent even when they were behind. Egypt might not be overwhelming teams as of yet, but they are grinding out results, and with Salah in form, they just might be really dangerous. In Group C, Tunisia 3, Uganda 1, a convincing win with goals from Ilyas Shikiri and Ilyas Achuri. Tunisia's confidence performance demonstrated good balance between defense and attack. They're looking sharper than they did in their 2023 AFCON outing, where they went out in the group stage. Nigeria in Group C beat Tanzania with 2 goals to 1. They started with a win for the Super Eagles, but showed moments of wastefulness and were tested by the Tanzanians, who gave a pretty good performance, if you ask me. The Tanzanians appeared to have a game plan, which they stuck to, were disciplined, but of course they couldn't match the quality of the Nigerians. And Ademola Lookman's long range strike seemed to basically put the nail in the coffin. Nigeria dominated early but failed to score despite creating lots of chances. Nigeria emerged with 3 points, but fans may be concerned about their finishing and their lack of concentration sometimes. Their upcoming game with Tunisia will be crucial moving forward. South Africa in Group B beats Angola by 2 goals to 1. This was another cracker, fantastic game. A rare opening win in AFCON group play powered by Lyle Foster. Bafana Bafana's first group win since 2004 signals improved cohesion, tactical discipline, especially under Hugo Boss, their coach. DR Congo beat Benin Republic with a narrow win in a match which was marked by controversy. There was a clear penalty denied by VAR failure. I might remind you that that also happened in the Nigeria game, but we'll get back to that. DR Congo were competitive and could be dark horses in their section, though with officiating issues, like I said, the VAR and margins of victory, um, it hasn't really gone their way as of yet. Now, in this tournament, so far, we've seen the strength of traditional powers. Former champions like Senegal, Egypt, Tunisia look like they're in control, using experience and tactical stability to get wins. Mohamed Salah continues to rewrite AFCON history with consistency when it comes to scoring. Nicholas Jackson is thriving up front for Senegal, of course, showcasing his quality and finishing ability. The Nigerian win, it wasn't so straightforward. They created lots of chances, but looked vulnerable at times. I mean, like, for instance, when they conceded a goal, their defense totally went to sleep in that instance. VAR technology sparked issues. Also, like I mentioned earlier, I personally believe there was a Victor Osimhen goal that should have stood because the one of the other defenders' knees was sticking out, and that should have actually stood. VR technology issues sparked controversy in DR Congo's match as well, highlighting operational challenges. So in Group C, Nigeria and Tunisia are early favorites, obviously. Tanzania and Uganda must push for points in order to stay alive. In Group D, Senegal lead, but DR Congo could keep up the pace. Botswana and Benin are under a lot of pressure. In Group B, Egypt and South Africa competitive. Angola and Zimbabwe might fail to qualify, but as it stands, they face an uphill task. Group A, host Morocco began strong with a 2-0 win over Comoros. Remember that bicycle kick? Wow. Mali and Zambia have shown spunk in Group A fixtures too, as they drew. Now, up next, look out for Nigeria versus Tunisia. That is critical for the top spot in Group C. Morocco's next matches as hosts expect to capitalize on home advantage. And let's see how consistent South Africa will be against Egypt. It's LD all day. That's the update for Afcon 2025 today. We're going to go to my man Ernest and see what he has to add to that.
Look at you. Look at you. You're still, after almost 30 years of friendship, you're still calling my name Osho. My name is Ernest Osobwe. Osobwe. Look at you. Okay, but look, more seriously, let's get back into your question, actually. I want to start like this, that no matter what I say about the goal, which I didn't see, because I was very busy. I was watching the Nigerian game in bits and pieces. That's what I did. So I didn't see the goal, but whatever I see doesn't make any difference. I just want to look at the game generally. What you have to understand is that a team needs to manage a game. Opening fixtures, like for instance, the very first game between Morocco and Comoros, very, very critical. And then, of course, your very first group game. If you check most of the international championships, the UEFA Euros, the World Cup, the Africa Cup of Nations and all of that, you discover that the teams that win it are teams that grow into the championship. No team gels from the very first game. Most of the time, those teams that have gelled from the very first game end up crashing out. If you remember the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, Nigeria gelled from the first game, smashing everyone in the group stages, 9 points. And then Tunisia only got 2 points, in their group games. But they knocked us out in the very second round. That's how it works. So look, what am I saying? The Eagles may not have played to some people's expectation in terms of the fluidity of their game, the flowing passes and things like that. But look, managing to get that 3 points is very crucial, very, very important. If you look back at some of the games we've played before, I agree the Eagles have won their opening games on a few occasions, but most often than not, we've lost and drawn. So managing your very first game of a championship is very, very critical. Being able to manage it, to get a draw, to get a win. Most often than not, people lose it. And like I said, teams grow into championships. They begin to gel. The players begin to understand each other more and things like that. So I don't understand the criticisms that the Super Eagles have received in this championship. If you recall the last World Cup, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia in the very first game. It took them time to build up and gel and become connected and become links together so they could play a better game. So we need to see it from that perspective and understand that, look, the game may not have been as interesting as we wanted, but look, getting those 3 points, very, very critical. And we need to just concentrate on that and congratulate the boys. I believe that as we go ahead, the team will get better.